You might be sitting there right now holding your phone in your hand, feeling like the weight of the entire world is resting right on your thumb. You truly think that the absolute hardest thing you will ever have to face in this life is the simple act of not sending that one text message. You feel like if you can just make it through the next hour without reaching out to her, you have won a great battle. But I want to tell you something very important, something that comes from a place of deep care. The silence you are so afraid of isn't the quiet space between your phone and hers. It is not about the messages that aren't being sent or the calls that aren't being made. The silence that is actually hurting you is the one living deep inside of you. It is the quiet, empty feeling that you have been trying to run away from since the very second she walked out of your life. We really need to sit down and talk about that. And before we go any deeper into this, I want to say something. If there is nobody else in your life right now who is willing to tell you the honest truth about who you have become or what it is actually going to take to find yourself again, then you should stay with us and join our community right now. Please do not do this for me. Do it for the man you are going to become. Because what we are about to talk about next and everything else we share in this group of caring experts is the kind of clear, honest truth you just are not getting from your friends, your family, or even from that part of yourself that is still awake at 2 in the morning checking her social media pages. You need to stay connected with us. You really need this. Now, let us look at what it actually means when people tell you to stop all contact. Usually, they tell you it is just a trick or a strategy. They tell you it is a tool you can use to trick her into coming back, or a way to heal a little bit faster, or maybe even a way to get your power back. And maybe it does help with those things a little bit. But here is the big thing that nobody ever says out loud. The truth is that staying silent is actually the easy part. Silence is something you do by not doing anything. You can stay silent while you are just lying down on your bed. You can stay silent while you are staring up at the ceiling for hours, replaying every single word you ever said, every fight you ever had, and every tiny moment you shared. You spend your time wondering if you could have said something a little bit different or if you could have acted in a better way. You wonder if you could have just been a different kind of person. But the thing is, silence does not ask you to change a single thing about who you are. It just asks you to put your phone in a drawer. That is not a real change. That is just waiting. And the truth is, waiting is what you have already been doing for a long time. You have been waiting for her to come back through the door. You have been waiting for the hurt to just go away on its own. You have been waiting for your life to feel like it used to feel. You have been waiting for so long that you have started to confuse standing still with moving forward. You think that because things are quiet, you are growing. You have told yourself that because you have not picked up the phone in 30 days, you must be getting better. But getting better is not what happens when you just take away the thing that hurts you. Real healing is what happens when you stop needing that person to tell you who you are. Let me give you a new way to look at this, and let us start with the biggest mistake people make. The mistake is thinking that the pain of a breakup is all about her. You think you are sad because you lost the relationship, or because you lost that specific woman, or because the future you imagined with her is gone. It feels like that on the surface, and I know that feeling is very real. I am not saying your feelings do not matter, but that is not where the real wound is. Here is the very difficult truth. What you are actually sad about is the person you became when you were with her. Or even worse, you are sad about the person you gave up being just to keep her close to you. You changed yourself. You made yourself smaller. You moved your whole life around, your hobbies, your thoughts, your schedule, and maybe even the things you believe in, just to make sure she was comfortable. You told yourself that doing this was what love looks like. You thought it was devotion or being a good man. But somewhere along that path, you stopped being a man and started being someone who just makes things easy for others. You stopped having your own ideas. You stopped making choices without first checking to see if she was in a good mood. You stopped doing the things that made you feel happy because they made her feel worried or bothered. You stopped being the person you were before you ever met her. And then when she finally left, you looked in the mirror and you did not even know the guy looking back at you. That is not just a broken heart. That is a crisis of knowing who you are. And that is why just staying silent on its own will not fix things. You can go 60 days or 90 days or even a whole year without talking to her. But if you have not rebuilt the man underneath all that silence, you will just carry that empty version of yourself into the next relationship and do the same thing all over again. It will be a different face, but the same story. It will be a different name, but the same pattern, a different relationship, but the same feeling of losing yourself. That is what we call a cycle. And cycles do not break just because time goes by. They only break because you decide to stop them. So, why does this happen to us? Why do strong men, smart men, men who have built great things and handled huge pressure at work, why do they fall apart? Like this in a relationship, it is because nobody ever taught you how to love someone without losing yourself in the process. That is the real reason you were taught, maybe by the people around you or just by watching movies, that love means giving everything up. You were told that love means proving how good you are or making sure she never sees you as failing. So you put on a show, you tried to fix everything, you did too much, and every time you felt her pulling away, you just worked even harder. You gave more of yourself and asked for even less in return. You thought that was being strong, but really it was just fear dressed up in strong clothes. It was the fear of being left alone. It was the fear of her seeing that you are not perfect. It was the fear of the silence that might tell you what a small voice in your head has been saying your whole life, that you are not worth staying for. And so you gave her the power to answer that big question for you. You handed her the final word on how much you are worth. You let the relationship become the ruler you use to measure your own value. And when it ended, it felt like your worth ended too. That is the real cost of all of this. It is not just losing her. You are paying for this with your own identity, your own confidence, and your sense of where you are going. You are losing your ability to trust yourself or to feel comfortable in your own skin without someone else telling you that you are okay. You are paying with your future because every day you spend in this foggy, sad state is a day you are not building anything new. It is a day you are not growing into the man you were meant to be. That is the real price, and it is way too high. So, here is a new way to think about it. This is not a punishment. This is a time to get ready. The end of this relationship is not the end of your whole book. It is just the start of the one story that actually matters. It is the story of who you are when you are not trying to impress anyone. It is about who you are when you are not managing someone else's feelings. Who are you when you are not shrinking or changing yourself just to get a job or a girl? Who are you when nobody is watching? That question might feel scary right now, or it might feel exciting. If it feels scary, that is actually good information to have. It means you do not know the answer yet. It means that while you were working so hard to keep that relationship alive, you lost touch with yourself. I want you to just sit with that thought for a moment. Do not feel ashamed. Just be honest, because men who are honest are the ones who heal. Men who lie to themselves just stay stuck in the mud. Let me show you what the man on the other side of this looks like. I want you to imagine a very specific kind of man. He is not perfect. He is not a person who lives in a cave and never wants anything. He still wants to be close to people. But there is something different about him that you can just feel when he walks into a room. It is not that he is bragging. It is not a performance. It is that he is grounded. He has the calm feeling of a man who knows exactly who he is and has decided that he is enough. This man has a direction in life. He wakes up every morning and he knows what he is working on. Not because a boss told him to and not because he is trying to look cool, but because he took the time to figure out what actually matters to him. He organized his whole life around those things. His reason for living does not change just because of who he is dating. Who he is does not change depending on who else is in the room. He is the one thing that stays the same. Everything else is just something that can change. This man has standards. They are not rules he shouts at people or a long list of things someone has to do to be with him. They are deep, quiet feelings inside of him that tell him how he should be treated. They tell him how much of himself he is allowed to give away and when it is time to walk away. And the thing about those standards is that they are not built on being prideful. They are built on self respect. There is a big difference there. Pride makes you get angry and defensive. Self respect makes everything clear. This man has felt pain too. He has lost things. He has loved people who did not stay with him. He has sat in the dark with his sadness and the confusing feeling of wanting something he could not have. But he did not let those things turn him into a hollow shell. He let them be his teachers. He took the lesson out of the pain. He buried what needed to be left behind. And he kept moving forward, not because he is cold or has no feelings, but because he knows that moving forward is the only way to get anywhere good. This man does not wait for someone else to tell him he is important. He is not constantly refreshing someone's profile on his phone. He is not writing long messages in his head that he will never send. He is not arguing with a memory to try and feel good about himself. He has done the much harder work. He has looked at himself in the mirror with total honesty. He figured out what he needed to change about himself, and then he actually changed it. And he did not do it for her or for the next girl he meets. He did it for himself. You can be that man. That is not just something I am saying to make you feel better, it is a fact. But you have to stop doing a few things first. Stop looking at your silence like it is a game to get her back. The second you start counting the days and wondering what she is thinking, or if she misses you, or if your silence is making her want you more, you have already lost. You are not healing when you do that. You are just playing a quieter version of the same old game. Stopping contact only works when the goal is not about making contact again. It only works when the goal is you. Stop telling the story of what happened in a way that makes you look like the victim. I know that story feels good. I know it makes you feel like you are right. But being a victim is like being in a cage. It feels safe because it means nothing is your fault, but it also means you have no power to change anything. And right now, you need your power back much more than you need to be right. Stop hanging out with people who just want to hear you talk about her over and over again. Those talks might feel like they are helping, but they are really just keeping you tied to the pain. You are just picking at the scab. Every time you tell the story again, you are not getting over it. You are just living in it again. There is a difference between talking about something so you can move past it and talking about it so you can stay inside it. Stop doing things just to show her what she is missing. Going to the gym because you want revenge is not the same as going to the gym because you want to grow. They might look the same from the outside. You are lifting weights in both, but they feel completely different on the inside, and your body knows the difference. When you are working on yourself just to prove something to a person who is not even there, you are still in that relationship. You have not left yet, but she has. Now, here is what you actually need to do. You need to pick one part of your life, just one, that you have been ignoring lately, and you need to give it all of your energy this week. Do not do it to impress anyone. Do it because it belongs to you. It could be your job, or getting your body healthy, or a creative hobby, or how you handle your money. Maybe it is a skill you stopped practicing, or a friendship you let fade away. Pick one thing and pour your heart into it. You are taking the energy that used to go toward her and you are pointing it towards something that actually has a future. Next, you need to build a schedule for your day. Having a plan is not about losing your freedom. Having a plan is what keeps you from spending 4 hours a day stuck inside your own head. Do you know what happens when you have nothing to do and you are in pain? You just walk in circles around your sadness? Give your day a shape. Have a morning routine. Move your body. Do focused work. Have a time when you put your phone away. That plan is not just about being busy. It is like building the walls for a new kind of life. You also need to look at the patterns in your life, not just in this one relationship, but in all of them. Where do you usually start to lose who you are? At what point do you start doing everything for the other person without getting anything back? When is the moment you give in when you should really stand your ground? Find that moment. Give it a name. That is where your boundary is. And right now, that boundary is invisible. That means people are always stepping over it. You need to make it clear. You must stop letting her opinion of you decide how you feel about yourself. Do not listen to the opinions of people who only see the outside of you. Do not look for your value in the numbers on a screen or in signs from someone who already chose to leave. Your value is not up for a vote. Your value does not change based on how a relationship ends. Your value is something you decide every single morning by how you carry yourself, how you treat the people around you, and whether the man you see in the mirror is someone you can respect. That is the whole thing. You are not broken. You are just resetting yourself. There is a huge difference between a man who is smashed into pieces and a man who is rebuilding. You need to decide which one you are right now. Men who feel broken just fold up inside and stay there. Men who are rebuilding feel that same sharp pain, but they do not let it become their permanent home. They feel the hurt, they think about it, and then they use it like fuel. Use this time. Use every night when you cannot sleep. Use every moment where you almost sent her a text but decided not to. Use every second of that uncomfortable feeling you get when you do not have the old drama to focus on. Use your anger, use your sadness, and use your confusion. Turn it into something better. Turn it into discipline. Turn it into focus. Turn it into the kind of clear thinking that only happens after you have been forced to look at yourself without any distractions, because that is what she actually gave you, even if she did not mean to. She did not give you a wound, she gave you an invitation. It is an invitation to stop building your whole life around someone else and to start building it around your own character. It is an invitation to become the man you would have had to become sooner or later anyway. The only question is whether you are going to accept that invitation right now, or if you are going to wait another 2 years until another relationship ends the same way. You are not just the result of what she chose to do. You are not just the total of everything that did not work out. You are not defined by who stayed or who left or when they left or the mean things they said as they walked out the door. You are the person writing the story. And right now, you are standing in front of a completely blank page. What gets written next is 100% up to you. The man who makes it through this, not just the one who survives, but the one who actually uses this to get better, is someone you have not fully met yet. And that is not a scary thing. It is the most exciting thing I could ever tell you. It means that the best version of you is not something from your past. It is not something left behind in her kitchen during a talk you keep thinking about. It is not locked away in the years that are gone. It is waiting for you right ahead on the other side of the hard work you are about to start doing. That man is worth becoming. That life is truly worth building, and you have everything you need to start doing it. Right this second. Start today. Do not wait until the pain stops. Do not wait until it feels easy. Do not wait until you feel ready. The truth is, you will never feel fully ready. You just have to make a choice. So make that choice. If this conversation helped you today, if some part of you felt like I was talking directly to you and you felt something change inside, then join us right now. This community exists for this exact reason, to say the things that are true instead of just the things that feel good. We want to give you a plan that actually works instead of advice that just sounds nice. There are more talks coming, more clear thinking, and more of this truth made for men who are serious about growing. You found your way here for a reason. You are not alone in this fight, and you are much stronger and more capable than you think you are right now. Stay with us and keep the conversation going. This is where the real work of changing your life happens. And you have already taken that very first step just by staying here and listening until the end. We are here for you, and we are going to walk this path together until you are the man you were always meant to all